Good afternoon, guys. My name is Kakembo Owen, and this is my partner called
Senor Jerome.
So today we are here to explain to you our project and concept paper generally using our project. So our AI project is about human stress detection, like all the other videos we have been posting. So let's get right into it. So first of all, as we're doing our concept paper, we first identified the problem, which was of course the stress. Then we went further to identify the effects, the causes. So as you can see the chart, we have the stress and which causes physical and mental health, caused by social inequalities, social health gaps. Those are the effects. Then also the causes.
So the background of this project is basically using artificial intelligence to detect the patterns of stress on the different faces of the people who are going to be interfacing with the model. So we have restricted this model to be able to detect work or education related stress because we do not want to have a project creep outside beyond what we have planned for, which could in turn lead to AI accountability issues and all. So, and in order to also improve the model in terms of performance measure, we have included a feedback system such that the system can be able to learn from the users what it brought out wrongly or what it brought out right. Yeah. So moving on, the significance of this is to build a model that can be able to detect stress during its early stages, in that someone does not have to first feel the effects of stress and all that tire or fatigue during their stressing activities. In order for the system to detect it, should be able to detect it very early during its stages. And also, it can be able to suggest tailored activities specific to the users that interface with the system. So we shall provide a functionality whereby the users can be able to enter their different activities to relieve stress.
So we went further to define the scope. Like my partner said, we didn't want to invite project creeps or go beyond what we want our project or AI model to do. So our scope was in work and education fields because that's where people find the most stress. Education can look at the assignments given, exam stress, reading books. Then work, we can look at maybe when you're trying to keep your work, your job, sorry. When you're trying to keep your job, it can become tense because you have to do this, that. Sometimes things may not go your way, things like that. Then, so as we went further, we also formulated some AI research questions based on what we wanted our AI to achieve. So we looked, one of the questions was how does work or education relate to stress levels? And then I can, I didn't want to go further into it, but we identified those other questions like what machine learning models can help facilitate the project. Can the model predict the times for which the user is likely to get stressed? How will the model return suggestions? So we're hoping these research questions that we got were going to help us formulate objectives and see where our project is going.
So, of course, as we formulated the questions, we came up with our own hypothesis, whereby we believe that stress kind of builds up during the peak of the day, for example, lunch hours and evening, when we have been constantly working with the different kinds of tasks that we have been assigned during our work times, or even even in education. Relating that to the current models that can be able to detect stress using the heart sensors and all. Some of them suggest that you should stand up and move around such that you can be able to just calm down and relax. So with such things, we believe that stress builds up within that consistent working time that a person has. And then from the research that we have done, we believe that artificial neural networks and support vector machines could probably be the best for us to achieve this. And also, users know their best relief activities. So of course, as the AI is implemented, the users shall be able to use to bring out their own activities and tailor the model and tailor the AI experience to themselves.
So we went on to find research objectives which we generated from the research questions. So we had research objectives like to understand how work and education relate to the stress levels, to find the machine learning models that facilitate the development of the project, then also to build a machine learning model that returns efficient living activities based on the user's preferences. So those were some of the objectives that we had and were hoping to help us during our designing the project.
Right now, we have just illustrated how a CNN can be able to help us achieve this, because if, for example, we subject a human to the AI, it can be able to detect, and using the features that we have defined, for example, the redness in eyes and the muscles on the face, cringing and all, the CNN can be able to detect whether the user is stressed or not, because it's basically a binary kind of classification. So the CNN can also be able to interface with the data that the user already provided for suggestions on how they can best relieve those activities.
Then we had a data set description, which we got from various sources, but then we saw most fitting to apply to our project was got from Kaggle, and the dataset was called Human Faces. So from those human faces, we're looking out for signs of sadness, maybe the redness in eyes, their facial expressions mostly. Then we're also looking out at different age groups, because different age groups react to stress differently and express their emotions differently. Then we tried to classify and then label those emotions to help us better understand how we build our AI model. So we got some references. We had 15, but we put 2 so that we could limit our slides. But those are some of the references. And then we'd also like to thank our teacher, our mentor, who has guided us throughout this journey of creating the AI model. Thank you, and that's it, unless my partner has something to say.
I have nothing else to say, but we believe that this can achieve greater success if we put in the effort. Thank you for paying attention to us.
Thank you. Please watch the other videos. Thank you so much.